After talking for a while,
George Ramirez and his partner Herman Roa have lived together for 16 years. Now they are allowed to marry in Maryland after voters there endorsed a law legalizing same-sex marriage.
We want the opportunity to consider marriage for all its purposes, for making a public statement, for the legal rights, and we want to be able to consider that just like anyone else.
Gay rights advocates won election victories for same-sex marriage in 4 states last November. Now there's a drive to push for laws in other states to allow gay and lesbian couples to marry. Gay rights groups in Minnesota celebrated after voters rejected a measure to define marriage as between a man and a woman. The state was the first in the nation to defeat a marriage amendment that has been enshrined in 30 other state constitutions. Now there's growing support for the legislature to legalize same-sex marriage. Gary Schiff is a lawmaker in Minneapolis.
You're going to see gays and lesbians turning their attention to the state capitol and asking for a marriage equality bill to be at the top of the agenda.
Up until last month, Americans had never approved a same-sex marriage measure by popular vote. Derek McCoy is the president of the Maryland Family Alliance, which opposes same-sex marriage. He says he expects lawsuits challenging the state's new marriage equality law.
We now have changed the definition of marriage in our state. That means it's going to be taught at the earliest ages, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Your kids will be not only taught about this issue, but educated, informed, and influenced that this is the right thing to do.
Now, across our country, we are standing together for the right of gay and lesbian Americans to marry the person they love.
But gay rights groups also have their eyes set on other issues besides marriage. The Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest gay and lesbian civil rights organization, launched a national television advertisement promoting its victories and calling for more civil rights legislation. Brian Moulton is the group's legal director.
And in a great deal of places, marriage really isn't the primary issue for our community. It's more basic things like employment protections and housing protections. Right now, it's still perfectly legal to fire someone based on their sexual orientation in 29 states.
William Galston is a social policy expert with the Brookings Institution in Washington.
And I've rarely seen sentiment shift so quickly on highly charged social issues. It's clear which direction this is evolving, and I would expect those pressures to reflect themselves in state-level initiatives to protect rights for everyone, and more slowly at the federal level as well.
Now pronounce you legally married.
Gay rights advocates say they hope the momentum from same-sex marriage will inspire similar campaigns aimed at ending discrimination. Chris Simkins, VOA News, Washington.